How do you do? It would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. Well, we've warned you.
Welcome. My name is Essex, and this is my home. And it is yours for as long as you care to stay. Extraordinary game, chess. One of the many forms of recreation we provide for our guests here at Mansfield House. You see, it originated in the Far East over 1,000 years ago. And today it's becoming increasingly popular all over the world. It's deceivingly harmless looking, isn't it? Yet, it's a sort of war game. At least it's based on war. Attack. Defend. Capture. Checkmate. Of course, it requires two players, that is, under ordinary circumstances. But not all circumstances are ordinary. Some are absolutely astonishing.
Hi, Miss Gilden. Hello, Davy.
Miss Gilden.
Good evening, Mrs. Cameron.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How's Robert today?
Oh, he's much better, thank
Good.
you. He's going to be back in school before long.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I have some more homework assignments for him.
Who was that?
That was Miss Gilden. She brought Robert's homework assignments.
Good.
Take him up to him, huh?
Oh, come on, honey. I've had a lousy day. I'm beat.
But he's so lonely. He's up there all alone all day. Nobody to talk to, nobody to play with.
Well, what about you?
Well, I'm only his mother.
Well, I want to, but I haven't been able to reach him lately.
I know. But try, huh? He's just so wrapped up in himself lately.
Okay. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Dad. Have a good day?
Oh, yeah, fine. What about you?
The same.
Oh, here's your homework for next week.
Miss Gilden bring it?
Yeah. You, keeping up with your schoolwork?
Pretty well.
Good. Because maybe for your birthday, if you do, you'll just get that special chess set that you wanted.
Gee, that's great.
Well, now, wait. Now, I said maybe. Now, that's if you keep up with your schoolwork.
I will.
I know you will, son. I'll see you later.
Hey, where are you? Over here. Gee, I don't believe I really made you up. Well, you did. Out of my head? That's right. Then you're not real, are you? Oh, yes. I'm real, all right. Your move.
Why is it that cat only shows up when there's food around?
That's one you can eat.
Oh, honey, that's terrible.
Hi, McGregor. Here, kitty, kitty. Hey, McGregor! I hate cats. That's funny. I like them. Oh, please be careful of that. Haven't you moved yet? You're wasting your time, you know. You can't beat me. Why not? Miss Gilden says I'm a very good chess player. Who's Miss Gilden? My teacher. She taught me how to play. I don't like her. You don't even know her. I don't have to. Are you going to stay around? Why? Do I bother you? Of course not. I made you up. I can unmake you. Checkmate.
In 1822, Mexico admitted the first colonists from the southern United States to the Brazos River. That general area would later become known as Texas. The Mexican government imposed many regulations meant to keep the area from being overrun by incoming foreigners. Robert, I know it's your first day back, but try to pay attention. You must remember that Texas, at that time, was a foreign country. Some people think it still is. Robert, may I see that? just reaching for your notebook. Give it to me, please. Oh, Robert, you're being excessively difficult today. I'm surprised that you find this more important than your classwork. Well, since you can't pay attention in class, we'll see how you get along after class.
Where do you suppose he is, Wordsworth? I hope he's gone. I hope he doesn't come back.
Robert, I must say I don't know what to make of you. I realize that unfortunate accident kept you out a long time, but it's no excuse for this daydreaming in class. And that morbid drawing. What were you thinking about, Robert?
I don't want to tell you.
I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. We used to be friends, Robert, and friends have to be honest with each other. If you'd only tell me... Robert, I demand that you stop this foolishness at once and tell me what was so important when your mind should have been on history.
You won't like it.
Answer me, Robert.
I was thinking I'd like to kill you, Miss Gilden. I was thinking I'd like to see you dead.
Yes, come in. What's this, Miss Gilden?
I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Harkness, but it's a problem of discipline. I had to keep Robert after school today.
Robert? Well, that's unusual, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Robert, sit down. It's all right. Please.
No, thank you.
Go ahead, Robert.
Well, Miss Gilden made me stay after school because I wasn't paying attention in class.
Ah.
And that's true. I wasn't paying attention. But then she kept at me to tell her what I was thinking. It wasn't anything, Mr. Harkness. But she kept at me. And she came at me. She said, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you'd like to kill me. You're thinking you'd like to see me dead.
That's not true.
Well, perhaps you'd like to explain, Miss Gilden.
It's a lie. I don't know why he's doing this. Tell him the truth, Robert. Tell him.
No, please!
That's enough, Miss Gilden. I will not have my students intimidated.
But it's a lie. He twisted it. He turned it around.
What's the matter, Miss Gilden?
My pencil. My gold pencil, you know, the one my mother gave me. I use it all the time. It's very valuable.
Perhaps you left it in your classroom. Why don't you go and look for it? I'll talk to Robert.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
supposed to be for chess. I don't like that, Miss Gilden. But she's nice. She's always been nice to me. I don't like her. I told you I wouldn't like her. And I don't think she'll like what's going to happen to her.
I thought you might like some of these apricots for your breakfast.
Thank you, Joan. Mother and I... We always enjoyed your preserves.
I miss your mother, too. Doesn't seem like it was only 3 months ago. I still expect to look up and see her in the garden.
I know.
Well, how long is it until you say goodbye to those classrooms full of kids and marking papers every night?
1 more term.
But then, travel?
Oh, no, I'm afraid not, Joan. Not on the kind of pension money I'll be getting. But it's enough to keep me comfortable and independent, and I can take care of the garden the way I've always wanted to.
Will you miss the kids?
Yes. Most of them.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Dad.
Been having any trouble with flies up here?
No. Why?
Well, your mother's been finding a lot of dead insects in the house lately. New book helping any?
Yes.
Good.
Dad, why don't you learn to play chess? I'd like that.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd like to learn to play chess, but I used to lose at Chinese checkers. I'm afraid you're going to have to be the genius in this family, and I'll be your chauffeur, and I'll drive you around when you become one of those grand masters.
How do you know about grandmasters?
Well, I've been reading up a little.
You don't usually read much.
Well, it never hurts to improve yourself. Hey, you okay?
Fine. Dad, have you ever read about everybody having a double somewhere?
A double?
You know, a look-alike.
Well, yeah, well, it's all kind of spooky if you ask me. Hey, listen, it's 9 o'clock already. Now, you've been up since early this morning. Now, don't you think it's time to pack it in?
Sure.
Good night, son.
Night, Dad. Why don't you learn to play, Dad? I'd like that. What's the matter? Tired of me? Checkmate. Maybe you're just tired of being beaten every time. I needed you to play chess with. School wasn't supposed to be part of it. I don't think you should go anymore. I like going. Besides, I tell you everything that happens, don't I? It's almost like you're there yourself.
Thank you, Robert.
I bet you think I put poison or something in that water. But I wouldn't do anything like that, Miss Gilden. Honest, I wouldn't. I didn't do anything!
Robert, listen to me.
I didn't do anything to the water, Miss Gilden! Honest, I didn't!
Robert!
I didn't do anything!
Robert, I demand an apology for this outrageous behavior. I'm waiting, Robert.
All right. Apologize, Miss Gilden.
I apologize, Miss Gilden, and it won't happen again.
I apologize, Miss Gilden, and it won't happen again.
Jenny Dillon's prescription for screaming nerves. It's almost as good as chicken soup.
Thank you, Jenny.
Miss Gilden, you've been overdoing it, haven't you? I know. Putting final exams together can get to you.
No, it's just one of those things where a good student is going through a bad phase or something. I'm sure he'll snap out of it.
Well, even if he doesn't, the term is almost over. Another few days and he won't be able to give you any more trouble.
I'm sure you're right. I hope so.
You all saw it happen. She said I poisoned her water, something like that. Right out of nowhere. You poisoned that water. I couldn't believe that. You poisoned that water. Something like that.
McGregor? Kitty, 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 kitty. That's funny. McGregor? Kitty, 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 kitty. Yeah, kitty, 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 kitty. McGregor? Oh, McGregor. Getting finicky about your chow, you can just forget it. You eat what's served.
Ah! Where's the money?
What happened to him?
I don't know. Feels as if there's nothing in him at all.
Oh. How did it happen?
We don't know, Bob. We just found him dead.
Somebody killed him.
Now, we don't know that.
Why do you say that, honey? Did you hear someone in the house today when I was out shopping?
No. Maybe when I took a nap.
Well, sometimes ugly things happen. Look, I'll find a place in the yard and bury him.
Sweetie, from now on, when you're here alone, I want you to lock your bedroom door.
Okay, Mom.
Oh, darling. I wish you'd go to sleep earlier. You look so pale.
I have been.
You take care of McGregor.
Thanks, Mom. Come on. Where are you? Come on! What do you want? My cat's dead. I know. Want to play? There were a lot of flies dead the other day, too. What do you know about my cat? The same thing you do. Here's the cat. He's dead. Why didn't you come when I first called you? Because I'm not your pet. I've got a life of my own to lead. But you can't. I made you up. I can do anything I want to, and you can't stop me. Not you, or your dumb parents, or anybody. You killed him, didn't you? Yes. Why? Because I needed him. I can kill anybody I need. And the blame is all on you. Because I don't exist.
Good morning. Not up yet, huh?
was a little tired.
Oh. Are you sleeping okay?
Well, the cast is a little uncomfortable. It itches. But the doctor said that would happen.
I know. I wish I could scratch it for you.
Dad leave?
Uh-huh. He looked in on you earlier, but you were still asleep. I'll fix you some breakfast.
Mom,
Uh-huh.
have you ever heard about everybody having a double someplace?
Oh, yeah, sure. Matter of fact, when I was in school, there was a girl that everyone said looked exactly like me. I never thought so.
I've got one.
You have? A double?
Not exactly. More like another me.
Where's this? At school?
Here. He was just here one night. I thought he was just for chess. But then he killed McGregor and all those flies. Mom, I'm scared.
Oh, no, darling. No. There's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to be scared about. Nothing to be scared about.
I think next term we're gonna have a new teacher. What do you mean? I just think we're gonna have a new teacher.
There's no talking during examinations. If I hear anyone talking, he receives a 0 immediately.
You know, you don't even eat enough to keep a mouse alive.
Some days I'm just not hungry.
Well, it's a good thing they don't pay you for lying because you're not very good at it.
Jenny.
Come on. Every year you get more end-of-the-term presents than any other teacher in this school. And this year, only a few. What's wrong?
Nothing, really.
Miss Gilden, there's a rumor running around among the students and some of the teachers, too, that there's some kind of friction in your class.
Friction? Not in my classroom, Jenny.
Why don't you discuss it with Harkness?
I hardly think he'd be interested in how many gifts I received this year. He disapproves of the practice anyway. Take your seats, please, and quiet. You've all seen my gold pencil. I accidentally left it here on the desk when we went to lunch. Now it seems to be gone. Does anyone know where it is? That pencil is important to me. I'd like to have it back. Very well, I'll give you one last chance. Everyone will close his eyes. I'll turn my back. And whoever took the pencil can return it to the desk. No one will be punished and no questions will be asked. Nothing will be said if the pencil is returned. All right? Now, everyone cover your eyes. And I'm going to turn my back. You have exactly 1 minute to put that pencil back where you found it. In my 35 years as a teacher, I've seen a few petty thieves in this classroom. But to steal something like this, I might have known it. Robert, give me that pencil this instant.
I don't have your pencil, Miss Gilden.
Give it to me, Robert.
But it's mine. I didn't steal.
Give me that pencil.
I told you it was my pencil, Miss Gilden.
So it is.
Miss Gilden, I think you owe me an apology. Don't you?
I'm very sorry, Robert. I seem to have made a mistake. It won't happen again.
I don't feel so good. He's stronger than I am now. My mom thinks I've just been reading too much science fiction or something. I can't even prove he exists. And even if I could, what could I do about it? He knows every thought I have.
Are you sure you didn't lose the pencil somewhere else?
Yes, I'm sure. I distinctly recall putting it on the desk just before the lunch bell.
Whoever took it might still return it.
No. He had his chance. I guess I'll never see it again. I suppose you think I'm foolish making such a fuss over an old lead pencil. I even have trouble getting refills for it these days.
No, you're not being foolish. It was very special to you. You have a right to be upset that it's been stolen. Did you report it to the school office?
Oh, yes. No one else seemed very impressed.
What could have happened to them?
They were fine and healthy yesterday. They're dry, absolutely dry. Nothing I know of could have done this so fast, so completely. Plants don't just die like that.
Leave him alone. We're just playing. What's that? Well, just something I found around school. Let me see it. This belongs to Miss Gilden. She always has it with her. Really? Where did you get this? Oh, I just found it around school. What have you been doing to her? Nothing. You said she wouldn't like what was going to happen to her. Most people don't. Like you. The doctor thinks you're getting better, but you're getting weaker all the time. You're lying. I can't lie to you. That's a lie. You know what I'm thinking, but you can block me out. You've got an imagination as bad as that Miss Gilden's. Look, I told you once, she's a nice lady. You have to give this pencil back to her. Now that's where you're wrong. She's not nice, and I don't have to give the pencil back to her. The next lesson is to teach you that you can't tell me what to do anymore. No, don't, please! Oh. Hey, Wordsworth. Wordsworth? Mom! Dad! Miss Gilden?
Yes?
I have something for you. It's a present for end of term. I gave a lot of thought to what you might like. Want me to show you? There you are. It's the biggest box the candy store had. I used a whole week's allowance to get it especially for you. Don't you want it, Miss Gilden?
Did you think I would after all that's happened?
Well, I suppose I'll just have to eat some of this candy right here in front of you, if that's what you want.
Why should I want that?
So you see I didn't put poison in any of them, Miss Gilden. You'll believe me then, won't you?
How dare you, you little beast, you! How dare you!
Stop it, Miss Gilden! Stop it! Control yourself! Robert, are you all right? Are you all right? Did she hurt you?
It's just a present. Why did you do that when it's a present?
Mrs. Dillon, will you take Robert down to the nurse's office? Immediately.
Yes, Mr. Harkness.
It was a present. Why did you do it? It was a present.
Come on, let's break this up. Everybody out now. Come on. Everybody out. In light of this unfortunate incident, Miss Gilden, I'm afraid I can no longer defend you. This thing has become much too involved.
What? I don't know.
I simply cannot ignore all the parents that have complained to the school board about you. Their children seem frightened of you. They say you intimidate not only them, but Robert in particular. The school board wanted to take action immediately, but I persuaded them to reconsider because of your long experience and service to this school. But after this, I'm afraid I must agree with the school board and let them dismiss you.
Dismiss me? You can't do that. My tenure, my pension. If you dismiss me, I'll lose it. I only have half a term, just 6 months. Without my pension, I couldn't live.
I'm sorry.
Please, I can't lose it after all these years. Please.
I'm sorry. I said I was sorry, and I am. But that's the end of it. The school board will notify you officially.
But lie! He's lying. Robert's lying. Can't you see that? You can't fire me when it's all his fault. It's all his fault, and you can't fire me for that. You...
Schizophrenia, what are you talking about?
Split personalities. It's two identities in one body.
Bobby is a perfectly normal, healthy boy.
He's quiet and he's introverted. He's weak and he's getting weaker. He's not getting better. He's getting worse. And he's scared. First the cat, then the hamster.
Oh, now, wait a minute. He can't even get downstairs by himself. Molly. He broke that airplane.
What? What airplane?
It was a model airplane that we were working on together. He broke it, believe me, he crushed it. And when I asked him about it, he said it was an accident.
Darling, that just proves my point. There's a different feeling in the house. It's nothing I can put a word to. It's just a feeling. And Bobby's different too. Please, Jack. He needs help.
Don't you think I'd help my own son if I could?
Oh, darling, of course you would. I don't mean that. I mean he needs a doctor's help. He needs psychiatric help. Please, Jack. Please.
Okay, honey. Okay.
Hello, Miss Gilden. How are you today?
What do you want?
I came to visit you. Didn't you say you like to have students visit you? Besides, I came to see how your rose bushes were. Don't be afraid. You know I wouldn't hurt you. Don't you? Too bad about your hamster. I'm going to get rid of you. Really? Look at you. Tied up in that cast. Weak. You'll be easier to handle than that Miss Gilden was. Was? What do you mean, was? She's dead. Fell on her rose shears, poor thing. You killed her. You kill everything. You're killing me. It won't be much of a loss. No one will know. Not even your parents. What do you mean? Pretty soon, there won't be anyone left here but me. Why are you like this? I don't understand why we're so different if you're part of me. I'm the other side of the coin. The dark side. Everyone has a dark side. I don't want you to be part of me. Let's finish this game. Our last game. If I lose, I'll go back where I came from. But you won't lose. I can't beat you. Oh, I want to be fair. Go on, move. You're thinking about my strategy, not yours. You can't keep me blocked out of your thoughts like that for long. You should have seen that coming. Maybe I did. Bad move.
No, Robert. The knight.
What are you doing here?
Go ahead, Robert. Play the knight to rook 6.
But he knows what I'm thinking.
He doesn't know what I'm thinking. Just do as I tell you. Don't think of anything else.
That's not fair.
No. But whoever told you everything would be fair? The knight, Robert. Now, bishop to bishop 6.
Checkmate. Wait a minute. Can you do that? I don't think you can do that. You know what I know, remember?
And now, young man, you and I have a great deal to discuss privately.
Privately? I don't understand, Miss Gilden.
Shall I paint the picture for you, Robert? Think of a classroom in a little black corner of space where you and I will talk about dead rose bushes and chocolate candies and golden pencils forever.
No, I don't want to go there.
Neither did I, Robert. But since you arranged the trip, you can keep me company.
No.
Come along now, come along.
Miss Gilden, that hurts.
How you feeling, son?
Much better, Dad.
Good.
Bobby, a doctor is coming by to see you later. A new one.
What for?
Well, he just wants to take a look at you.
Sure. Okay.
What's that, Bobby?
It's a present. A present from Miss Gilden.
Imagine conjuring up an imaginary opponent, an extension of yourself who knows your every move even before you make it. I don't think I'd like that at all. No, not at all. Robert doesn't play chess very often now, and when he does, it's always with a real opponent. Can't say I blame him. Books are indeed the cornerstones of learning, and I've always been proud of my collection. This particular manuscript, for example, was given to me by a college professor who occasionally visited us here at Mansfield House. Pendergast was his name, a remarkable man. I was quite upset when he passed away, and I've often wondered whether there was any truth in some of his theories. Of course, we would have heard from him by now if that were the case. You see, he believed in life after death. And this particular treatise is on the credibility of modern-day vampires. An odd theory, you're apt to say. And yet, somehow, I find it provocative.
I'm frightened. I don't know what to do. The spells are getting worse. I'm weaker. I know I can't go on this way. Pendergast is dead, and there's no one to help me.
So I think it's time we took some action before some other poor girl is murdered.
What can we do?
We can set up civilian patrols. Keep an eye on the campus at night. Make sure there are no co-eds out alone.
What about the police?
They're not getting anywhere. And they have a lot of other problems.
When will these patrols start?
The sooner the better. Tonight. Now, I know you're all on a busy schedule, but there's a killer loose. Do I see any volunteers?
Now, if you were any kind of friend, you would have stopped me before I volunteered.
Oh, I don't know. The quad's not so bad. Cemetery, however.
Want to trade, friend?
I never saw you before in my life. Idea. I grant you Houston's a little overeager, but if this patrol stops one killing, it'll be worth it.
I understand he's going to retire soon.
You're trying to tell me something.
Oh, you got to admit, if he catches the killer, he goes out in a blaze of glory.
Hi, Mr. Wells, Mr. Simmons.
Don't hi.
Would you believe next Monday?
That's what you said last Monday.
Trust me.
Where have I heard that before?
All right, but if it's any later than Monday.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. You're a doll.
Why don't I get people like that in my classes?
You're a dirty old man, that's what.
We need love, too.
There's a cue if I ever heard one. There's Marnie.
Hi.
Hello, my love.
Hello.
Would you cool it? I know how you feel about my wife, but it's getting embarrassing.
You're right. I'll have to control my natural impulses.
Unnatural, I think.
Oh, no. Keep it up. I love it.
You got time to come by for a drink?
No, thanks. I've got a desk full of papers waiting at the office.
All right, well, listen, good luck tonight.
Thank you. You too.
What's this about tonight?
Oh, it's nothing. It's, I'll tell you later. Hello. David's not here?
Who?
David. Wells. He lives here.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm Laura Benton. My folks own the house.
Hi, I'm Frank Simmons.
Hi. I came here on a visit, and they're away.
bad timing. This used to be my playroom.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I just came by out of curiosity. The door was unlocked. I'm embarrassed.
You needn't be. I'm sure David wouldn't mind.
I couldn't help but notice the picture. Is that his wife?
Was. She died a couple of years ago.
They looked like they were very much in love.
Yes, they were. Sometimes I think he's still getting over it. I know where he keeps the bottle. Would you like me to fix you a drink?
Oh, no, thank you. I'm expecting a call from my folks.
Well, since David's not here, I'll walk you down. David?
Hi.
You all right?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this is Laura... I'm sorry.
Benton.
Laura Benton. David Wells. I caught this lady snooping around in your apartment.
No. I used to live here. I was just curious. I hope you don't mind.
It's quite all right.
Well, good night.
Night. Beautiful girl. What you got there?
Oh, it's a copy of Pendergast's manuscript. Before he died, he asked me to edit it for him. Just picked it up from his housekeeper.
I just stopped by to see if anything happened on your patrol.
No, everything quiet. You?
No, nothing. Can't say I'm too unhappy about it. I wasn't cut out to be a hero. You got time for a drink?
Give me a rain check, will you? I'm a little tired tonight.
Sure. See you tomorrow.
It is the author's contention that there is a scientific explanation which accounts for the unnatural desire for human blood. That such a desire is in fact a biological need caused by a chemical imbalance. Therefore, the purpose of this study is to demonstrate a relationship between diseases of the blood and the body of literature concerning itself, vampires.
David? Dave, wait up.
Glad I caught you. Listen, you didn't look so good last night. How you feeling?
Okay.
You sure? You don't look so good right now, as a matter of fact.
Been up all night working.
On that manuscript?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Vampires.
Wonderful.
Come on, we'll be late.
Then during your patrols, none of you has seen anyone suspicious. Anyone hanging around the campus. Well, I have a feeling it's going to work. We keep the patrols going, there won't be any more murders. Something I can do for you, Lieutenant?
I'd like to talk to your people.
Anything special?
Yes.
Detective Lieutenant Thorpe. He's handling the murder investigation for the police.
I've heard about what you're doing. And unofficially, I think it's great. Officially, it could be dangerous. You people aren't equipped or trained for these patrols. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to stop. We booked a suspect this morning. A boy who dated the victim. He has no alibi. We think he's probably the murderer. So you see, there's just no need for the patrols. I hope I've made my point. Thank you all for your time.
Well, I guess that's that.
I don't think we should let Thorpe intimidate us. The police are not infallible. What if they arrested the wrong person? We stop the patrols, and the real murderer is still free. I wouldn't want the murder of another co-ed on my conscience, and I don't think you would either.
Mr. Simmons. Oh, you scared the daylights out of me.
Well, you should be scared, young lady. What shit has been going on around here? What are you doing out by yourself?
Are you on the faculty patrol?
Yes. You better let me walk you back to your dorm.
Well, that's okay. I'm gonna go meet my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend.
Everything's cool, honest.
Okay, but listen, keep your eyes open, will you, please?
I always do.
Hey!
David? Well, I'm glad we ran into each other. Of course, if we hadn't, I would have found some other way.
Are you always so honest?
Not always. I've learned to be selective. Of course, the problem with being selective is you run the risk of ending up alone. You must miss your wife very much. Oh, when I was in your apartment, I saw her picture.
Yes, I do miss her.
I envy you. Most people never have what you once had.
Hello.
David, it's Frank.
Yes, Frank, what's wrong?
Listen, I haven't been able to get out of my mind something you said about Pendergast in his manuscript. Tonight I was patrolling in the cemetery and I saw someone, and I chased him, but he disappeared.
Go on.
For a minute, it looked like... I thought it was him. Pendergast. I know he's dead. But... You think I'm crazy, right?
No.
David, what are we going to do?
I don't know. Look, you get some sleep. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night. It happened again. I can't account for my actions. Am I a murderer? Is it possible I've committed murder? I can't be sure. Frank thinks he's seeing ghosts. Poor old Pendergast. I've got to keep studying his manuscript. It's my only hope. Drive carefully.
Wish me luck. I've given myself 2 weeks to find a job or else.
You'll do fine.
I'd better.
Mr. Wells? Mr. Wells? Did you hear what happened? Fern didn't come home last night. And they found her body near the cemetery this morning. I just don't know what's happening. And we're all so scared. I'm sorry.
Her roommate. She was a student of mine. It doesn't seem possible.
Oh, that poor little girl. If only I'd stayed with her or stopped her.
Frank, you can't blame yourself.
Let me make sure I understand this. You think you saw Pendergast, the old professor who died?
Look, I don't know. It was dark. I can't be sure.
What makes you think it was him?
It was something David said.
He was writing a book.
I remember somebody joking about it. Something about blood diseases.
Well, there's more to it than that.
Well, go on.
It was about blood diseases and vampires.
Don't say anything about this to anyone. Not yet.
What about Lieutenant Thorpe?
He'd laugh you out of the office.
You didn't.
Either you saw something you thought was Pendergast, or... When you get to be my age, you begin to believe in the possibilities of a lot of things. All right, there's something else. The girls all bled to death. No indication of a weapon. And the only marks on them were on the throat.
Laura, what are you doing here?
It was a nice night, and I wanted to be with you.
Come on, you know it's not safe. That's why we're still patrolling.
David, I'm not asking anything of you. I know you're still getting over your wife's death.
I guess some people take longer to heal than others.
I understand. I'm just content to be with you.
It's not just my wife, Laura. I guess I've always been shy with people I really care about.
Thank you for telling me.
Strange place for a conversation like this. Come on.
Who was he?
He was a teacher, a professor of medicine. He was a kind, gentle old man.
I'm sorry if I startled you. You all right?
Miss Benton, Chief Houston.
How do you do? Why don't you two run along? I'll take over the last watch.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
I can't believe that I've become something monstrous. If Pendergast's theory is sound, there's no hope for me. I wish I could die. My mind wants to die, but my body's determination to survive is too strong.
Pendergast. Come in.
Can we talk, Owen?
Sure, want a drink?
No, thanks. What do you know about these murders?
I thought you had a suspect.
We had to let him go. He didn't date the second girl. Last night, when Dana Evans was murdered, he had the best alibi imaginable. He was in jail.
Too bad. It's possible you eased up on your investigation because you had a suspect. I didn't.
Look, why don't we work together? In spite of your patrols, there's been 2 more murders. Now tell me what really happened last night. I read your report. Was a little sketchy, wasn't it?
The only thing sketchy around here is the police protection on this campus.
Why are we always at each other's throats? Did I say something funny?
The girls, the murder victims, all died of throat wounds.
Well, I know that. And you know I know it.
No sign of a murder weapon. Did you ever ask yourself who'd do such a thing?
Nut.
Maybe.
You got another theory?
A vampire.
Maybe I'll have that drink.
There was a professor here, a man named Pendergast. I knew him slightly before he died. He kept to himself, took long walks, a lonely man. Every time I ever bumped into him, he had his nose in a book. I saw him last night.
You saw him?
I shot at him.
And I suppose bullets went right through him.
Sure looked like that.
You could have missed.
I'm a pretty good shot.
Has anyone else seen him? This Pendergast?
Why? Would you believe someone else? You don't believe me, I can see it in your eyes.
Owen, I'm just a simple cop. Vampires are a whole other trip.
What are you smiling about?
You're a wonder, that's all. I ask you out to dinner and end up having the best meal of my life in my own apartment.
That's my bag. I cook. You can't imagine the broken hearts I've left behind with my veal piccata.
I can imagine.
Let it go.
Hello. Yeah, Frank. Well, I can't get away. Just... Yeah, I'm listening. I'll be right over.
Problems?
I'm terribly sorry. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to leave.
Glad you're here.
Chief, what's this all about?
We have to dig up that grave and make sure that Pendergast is in it. Come on.
Is he kidding? Come on. Wait a minute. What's that thing for?
It's the only one sure way to kill a vampire. Come on, let's go over.
What is it with you guys? Here we are, a couple of beautiful red-blooded girls. Picture spread fit for kings, and you two haven't said a word all afternoon.
We're just relaxed and stuffed.
Yeah, it was a great meal.
Oh, good try, but your heart's not in it.
What is it, Frank? You've been acting awfully strange lately.
Well, if you must know, I think I'm falling in love.
Again? I know what it is. It's the murders, isn't it?
You both knew the girls. All of them. It must be awful for you.
Mr. Wells, Mr. Simmons, I'm sorry to butt in.
Well, that's all right, Lieutenant. This is my wife, Marnie, Lieutenant Thorpe.
Mrs. Simmons?
Laura Benton, Lieutenant Thorpe.
Miss Benton, I was wondering if I could have a word with both of you.
Of course.
Excuse me, honey.
Now, Houston tells me you think you saw a dead man named Pendergast. Is that true?
Look, Lieutenant.
Well, is it true?
Yes, it's true.
Okay. Lord knows why, but I did some checking on Pendergast. There was nothing about the man that would suggest even the slightest thing out of the ordinary. He was straight as an arrow. But during my investigation, I've come up with a little theory. Wouldn't it be clever for the real murderer to have used the imaginary vampire to throw suspicion away from himself?
The real murderer? Who?
Houston.
Houston? Why Houston?
Some years ago, before he came here, a co-ed of another campus accused him of assault. The charge was dropped when she refused to testify.
Then how, in the name of heaven, did he ever get a job here?
Well, he's clean. He's got no record. I found it out unofficially. Oh, I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention anything. Look, take my advice. Don't get caught up in Houston's madness. Or you both could be in more trouble than you ever imagined. I'll take care of him.
Look, Houston must be crazy to have suggested what we did last night in the cemetery, and we're crazy to have gone along with it. Can you imagine what Thorpe is going to do if he ever finds out we dug up a grave and killed a corpse?
Using Pendergast was one thing. He's dead. But I can't let them suspect Houston. He's old, foolish, but I'm so afraid. I've been thinking about Laura. I'm afraid to love her.
Frank. What is it?
Did I kill her? My God, did I kill again? I loved her.
David!
Oh, my God, what happened?
I don't know. I just found her out there.
Put her here.
Oh.
Hey, what happened? What happened?
Oh, David. Oh, I was coming up here and someone grabbed me and I screamed and I guess I fainted.
It's all right, it's all right.
Oh. Oh, David, I've never been so afraid.
Operator, give me the police.
Just black, please.
Any news?
Lab boys drew a blank. Not one lead. I questioned Houston. Said he was at the movies. Alone.
I can't believe it was Houston.
You don't really think it's Pendergast, do you? Considering his checkered career, I'd say Houston's our man. From now on, I've got to keep a very close eye on him.
I thought you were gonna jump out of the stands and attack that poor referee.
Poor referee, my eye, he blew the game for us.
What happened to that nice ladylike demeanor?
That was just a front. Now you've seen the real me.
Thank you for helping me laugh again.
I like the real you. Have I told you?
I'm glad we're progressing. Do you have a dark side that you keep hidden?
Not me. What you see is what you get.
Nobody's perfect.
Just be a minute. I'm gonna pick up some papers at the office. Lock the door behind me.
Right?
I was making my rounds. I heard a scream. There were footsteps. I chased them. Fired.
David?
It all happened so fast. I called out to him. He never answered. I didn't know it was him.
Keys in my pocket. Take it. Promise me. Diary in my desk. Personal. Burn it. Please. Promise.
I will. I promise.
Thank God it's over.
still can't believe he's gone.
Laura, how are you feeling? Can I fix you a drink?
Oh, no, I'm all right, thank you.
What time is it?
4:30. The train doesn't leave till 6.
Laura, are you sure this is best for you?
David had no one. Except me. He told me his wife was buried in Des Moines.
I feel I should be with him on the train. I want to be with him. We had so little time together.
Laura, why don't you go and get some rest? We can finish up here and close up the apartment.
I think I will. You're safe now, David. I burned the diary. Rest in peace.
Fine writer, Pendergast. Nice style. Too bad he didn't live to publish that. But, you know, perhaps there's more to his theory than one might imagine. At least he's persuaded me to have an open mind on the subject. And that's what education is all about, don't you agree? An open mind. It's what made Pendergast such a unique individual. He could make you believe in the possibility of anything.